option. When there's a will, there's a way. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to leave you there's a few gentlemen, right? Just want to leave you with this thought. Maya Angelou once famously said, "I've learned you shouldn't go through life with a catcher's mitt on both hands. You need to be able to throw something back." Your being here is the first step in throwing something back, something positive to your lives, but also to the ladies to the right and to the left of you. Enjoy a wonderful day, and thank you for the opportunity to participate.
In one way or another, but we also all have something to give. And sometimes we don't always understand what that is, but hopefully today you'll get to understand that. So I have a couple things I'm going to share with you, and then we're going to get started with our workshops. Today we have a lot of wonderful speakers here today. Well, if any of the speakers are in the room, would you please stand? Some of them have already gone to their rooms. There's Miss Patty in the back. Yay. Okay, so, and I want you to know that each and every one of these speakers donated their time together to come here to share with each and every one of you and all of us. And it's really important because we have some dynamic speakers, that, I mean, they can get top dollar for what they share and what they do. And they decided that they were going to sow seeds on a Saturday morning to give back to us. So we say thank you. Yeah.
First one that we learned is, boy, are we all different. Even though Maureen and I are social entrepreneurs and we're partners and co-authors, we are so different. And we each have our own gifts. And together, we make a more complete social entrepreneur.
And I found that to be one of the most rewarding parts of the project. Because as we worked closely with the women, I just felt this incredible bond. And it just enriched my life and my soul so much to know that women, no matter where we are, as I said, no matter who we all have the same dreams and the same desires, and we all have our common bond of womanhood. One of the stories that I remember the most when I was writing was with Kay Buck, who is the executive director of the Coalition for Slavery and Sex Trafficking. And when I called Kay, we had the appointed hour, whatever it was, and she said to me, "Okay, Maureen, call me back in 5 minutes. I have to run down to my car." And so, okay, I'm like, why did she have to go to her car? But I called her back in 5 minutes on her cell phone, and she said, "Okay, I'm rolling up the windows now," and she started to cry. And she said, this is just so deep in my heart, and it's the first time I'm ever sharing it with someone. And her sister was killed when Kay was a little girl. Her older sister was killed by a drunk driver. And she never fully resolved this loss and the grief of her older sister.
At the job that I work at Inroads, when we do internships, for the one position that the company's looking for, I have about 3 or 4 candidates for that position. So it is competitive, so you have to find out what's going to make you stand out, that they're going to want you for that job. They also look at your leadership skills, your experience. But check this out. 73% of employers, when they're looking to hire somebody, they want somebody with work experience, leadership skills. So how you would get that now is to get an internship. And it's not also about always having a paid job. What's another way that you get experience? Volunteering. Would you put your volunteer experience on your resume?
Yeah.
Absolutely. How many of you guys have a resume? Very nice, very nice. We're going to talk about that. The other piece are your people person, because one of the main things that companies are looking for is make sure you interact with people. Are you going to be a team player? Do you get along? Do you have a positive attitude? Because when everybody's working together as a team, it makes everything work really well. And again, as I stated earlier, your GPA is really important because, again, the higher the GPA, the more options available to you. What companies are looking for, in addition to your GPA, are your SAT scores. They also want to look at leadership skills. How would you demonstrate your leadership skills on a resume? Anybody. What would you do? What would you write down on your resume to demonstrate your leadership skills?
It's important to understand good versus bad. There's a term called secured loan versus an unsecured loan. So a secured loan is something that is secured by an asset. So we talked about the house or the car. So if you borrow to pay for that and then you don't pay it, they can take it back. So that's collateral. You ever heard the word collateral? Yes? Yeah. So the car or the house is collateral. Yes, here. It's kind of like a lien, although a lien is only when it's bad. Like if you start to not pay them on time, then they'll put a lien on your asset and they say, we can take it. We're not taking it right now, but we can take it. So we have a lien or a right to that property because we have ownership in it because we loaned you the money. Okay, good question. So that's a secured loan. Unsecured loan is some of those credit cards that I talked about where you bought pizza or you bought clothes or you bought movie tickets or concert tickets and it's not secured by anything. It's just debt that you've incurred. And that's unsecured credit, okay? So it's important to understand, if you think about it, secured versus unsecured, that kind of helps with the good versus bad a little bit, except for the college tuition. So there's some do's and some don'ts of debt. I don't want you to leave this room thinking that all debt is bad or all credit is bad. What is bad is mismanaging it and living above your means, yes? Wealthy people live beneath their means. Poor people above. So if you manage your debt wisely, yes, then it's a good thing.
You guys are here because I want to show you guys and basically share with you guys what you guys need to do to get into college and just the things that you need to know, okay? So first off, my name is Charmel Vega. Just a little bit about myself actually. How many of you are actually in the Forgiving for Living mentee program? You too? Okay, so I'm actually a graduate of the program. I was in there last year and I went through it for the whole year. Great experience, and now I'm basically back to give back because I believe in what Miss Wendy is doing and I just love the mission and everything. As an advisor, I went to different high schools and I sat with students from 9th through 12th grade and I basically helped you guys make sure you had your GPA, make sure you had your SATs, make sure you're on the right track, you're in honors, AP classes, you're in AVID, and things like that. To make sure that you guys qualify and meet the minimum requirements to get into college.
If you're not failing at something, you're not trying anything new. Yes? Yeah, I hope you have pads and paper because I'm going to give you some notes and stuff. I mean, really, because you may want to jot some things down. There is nothing positive about perfectionism. It really is not. So, in fact, right now, I stand here today as a recovering perfectionist. I'm working towards that, right? Really, working towards being this recovering perfectionist because there is nothing positive about being a perfectionist. Because am I ever going to be perfect? No. Now, if we look at, we'll see if we look at scripture, right? It talks about perfection, but that's more being mature, not like perfect. Only God is perfect. I mean, I'm never going to get there. That's not even goal. But, I mean, really, it's not. But it's about being mature. But when I look at failure, like I said, that quote really challenged me to take a look at failure from a different perspective. But when you also think of failure and sharing about your failure, that also opens up a door for vulnerability. Oh my gosh, I'm talking about what I did wrong, what I made me feel that, or made a mistake at.
I want you to do sort of a reverse exercise of what I did. See, I wrote to myself 10 years ago. I want you to write to yourself 10 years from now. So talk to her like you would a big sister or a mentor. You're 16, you're talking to the 26-year-old version of yourself. What does she look like? What is she doing? Is she successful? Is she in school? I mean, she's got it going on, you know that. But what's happening in your life 10 years from now? Write to her. Talk about some of the mistakes you're afraid to make. talk about some of the lessons that you've learned, some of the people that are important in your life to you right now.
I look through the mirror and I see myself successful, intelligent, and on top of my game. All the lights and the flash of photography are on me, and everybody knows my name. But if they knew how I got here, would my name be defamed? See, I struggle with a smile on my face because I want to go and follow my passion and my dreams and helping others who don't even know what that means. I see all the pain and the hurt that I went through because whatever you are passionate about, whether it be dance, money, that fast life, you're going to get rejected. But it's up to you to keep pressing forward to meet your mark, a mark that will be imprinted in everyone's head on how anyone, including you, can be successful. It was at times that I wanted to fail myself, and as I looked at myself through the window, I felt the pain for her. I guess that's why they call it window pain. But at the end of the day, that girl is strong, and she pressed forward, not even letting herself stand in the way.
I'm 15, and life is just life. If the obstacles I'm going through now are helping you, or did it help you? Because sometimes I just don't know what to do. Have you fell in love? Are you still in college? Do you still call for help from God above? Don't forget me from God above. I have all these questions. Just spare one moment of time to speak. Speak with me because you can't forget me. Because since I believed and succeeded, since I made mistakes and been through the pain, I created you. So always remember where you started.
If a student comes to you, you're a neighbor's friend, like my best friend, for example, her daughter tells me everything. And my girlfriend says, why doesn't she share this stuff with me? Like, I said, because you're her mom. You're her mom. And I was like, and if you ever go back and tell her anything that she shares with me, I'll never share anything else with you again. I said, I'm just letting you know so that it's more of an FYI, but not for you to go back and chastise her or,
Right.
But I said, at least she has someone that she can come to and you know what's going on.
I grew up with a lot of confidence, very self-assured. My mom instilled self-assurance. I mean, I came back and I had and I always, and I still do today, have a totally optimistic look on life. Some people say I look through glasses, that rose-colored glasses. I'm a realist, but I still have a very optimistic look on life. I don't hang around with people and never did association with people who think that life's a be and then you die. I never believed that. I never bought into that. I'm like, it's more to life than that. So anyway, my mom told me that I could become anything and everything that I could ever want.
Those relationships as you get older, they do become more about, the feelings you have about it as opposed to what you're giving to it or getting from it. But how does it make you feel? So don't underestimate that and feed that. My mom's 77. She's getting up in age. So I really do want to, spend that time and build these positive memories for us to hold on to. And my dad, I was a daddy's girl. I climbed trees just to be near him. If he was in the yard working, I would be in the tree watching him. If he was under the car, I was under the car with him. Wherever daddy was, I was there. But, my dad became an alcoholic before I was a teenager, and that really changed our relationship.
You gotta love yourself so you can love others, right? Because we're all here together. You heard that saying, no man's an island, we're not alone. We're an interdependent society, we depend on one another. But before we can work with each other and love other people and have peace on earth, we have to have that within ourselves, right? You don't know what's 100%. You don't know what you're capable of. So I disagree with that. I don't even think we can measure how much. We haven't even tapped into what we can do.
It's just about doing something, anything really, to help you look good, to say, hey, I don't just go to school, I work part-time. Let's say, I don't know if some of you know people that have family business where their parents own a business and you have to work in that. Hey, that counts. That does count, because you put on the application, they're gonna say, especially the private schools, they'll actually ask, what other things did we not ask you want to tell us?
I had a program that I started called 100 Give 100 to Help 100. And we had several people, quite a few, that gave 100 to help 100 people come free today. So because of the individual support, the support of Wells Fargo Bank, California Endowment, Southern California Edison, and Circle of Charities, as well as Wendy's Enterprises, Sweet Events, also Top of the Line Productions. Top of the line, raise your hand. Okay, they're in the back. Yeah. So because of all of them, all of you are here. So we just want to say thank you. So on the count of 3, say thank you. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.